G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another reaction video. This time we're doing Das ist Deutschland, or this is Germany. This video was suggested by one of my viewers, so we'll have a quick look at it. I've been doing a series on building a house in Germany, so I wanted to have a look at some real old houses. You'll also notice that there's a wardrobe change in this video because the first video I made had a copyright strike. So let's get into this and have a look. So straight off the bat there we can see, this is typically German. There's very few countries in the world where you can look at a picture and you know exactly which country you're in. So you see this type of design, this, I forget what it's called, Fahren Hauser or something. Someone told me in the comments, but yeah, you look at that and you immediately think of Germany. Another country is Thailand. You always know you're in Thailand. You can tell by the roof structures and the gold trimmings that they have. But yeah, that's beautiful. Right, so that's a lovely beach. You wouldn't expect Germany to have nice beaches. I come from Australia. I think we have the best beaches in the world. Every time I go to a country, people say, oh, you got to go to the beach, but I'm always disappointed. But yeah, that looks like a really nice beach, nice and clean, no people. Looks a little bit cold in the water there. But yeah, that's a nice beach. Cologne. Also guys, if you're from any of these towns or cities, please leave a comment. Tell me about your city or your town. What's the best part about it? Why is it famous, or how old it is? What's something you can do there? Is that sky correct, or has that been added on? I wouldn't imagine that Germany would have the stars out like that, particularly right in the middle of Europe. Wouldn't there be too much light for that sort of stuff? That looks like the middle of Australia. I think that's been photoshopped in or enhanced. So this is the sort of thing that I love. I love these old medieval villages. Okay, how they all, if you notice around, most of the world, every little village starts on a stream or on a river, and you can see how all the houses are meandering with the river. And yeah, I could walk around there and spend all day just looking at people's houses. That's lovely. Look at that, that's great, So looking at this looks like an entry or a gate or something. Would that be like a tax collection office? I know that in a lot of the old places in England they used to have like a coinage collection gate at the front too, so you had to pay like a entry tax to get into the village so that you're safe. So I wonder if that's like a government building or a tax collector's building. wish they did a video on Berlin. You'd realise how big it is. It's something like 9 times bigger than Paris, which is surprising. And I think it has the second most, maybe the most bridges of any capital city in the world. But someone told me that Hamburg has more bridges. Yeah, I didn't realise how big Berlin was. Here's my favourite castle, one of my favourite gate, Lübeck. Okay, I just love the way that it looks like it's going to fall in on itself. Alright, so look at that, isn't that amazing? So I actually showed this one to my wife, and I said, wouldn't it be nice just to have that as a little house? So yeah, that's beautiful. So I know this village isn't very as old as the other ones, but you can see how most villages evolve. So they start off with the church in the middle, and everything sort of meanders around it, you know, and then as it gets bigger, the church turns into a cathedral, and then have a square around the cathedral. But yeah, I really like those old medieval villages. I actually play a game called Medieval Dynasty, and I actually do the same thing. You know, try to make it look like it's grown organically. It still amazes me how people build this stuff. Like, the building itself is really amazing, but where they build them is even more impressive. You see this a lot in Scotland. You know, they build them out on these old crags out in the middle of a lake or a loch, and yeah, so just the building itself is amazing, and then the position. Like that. Okay, so you just immediately look at that scene and that street and you know that's German. Okay, so here's interesting. Okay, so you can see how the city has grown out. So you can imagine all the outside of the inner city. Okay, so this is the old part of town. But you can see the way that the lanes go. They built organically. They have the cathedral in the middle, which is the centre of most medieval villages, and then you can see the pathways and everything, and they're really beautiful, and you know that's a great defensive spot as well, just with the river that goes all the way around. I wonder if that's been redirected. Pretty rare to see a river go around in a circle like that, so whether that's been redirected around as a defensive moat originally. But yeah, I actually play a game called Medieval Dynasty, and the same thing. I like designing my villages similar to this. There, that is beautiful. What a beautiful little village there with the little stream coming through. So I imagine a little bit further down there'll be some sort of mills, but yeah, isn't that a wonderful sight? There's particularly this building over here that looks like it's going to fall into the stream at any point, but it hasn't for the last 600 years. And you know, imagine just waking up in the morning and going out and having a little coffee out there on your patio, looking at the stream. Really, really beautiful. What a nice place for a chemist. What's that place called? Herman's Denkmal. Isn't that the guy that defeated the Romans at Teutoburg Forest or something? Herman? Think so? Or was it Vercingetorix? Vercingetorix. And there again, you know, see that sort of rock formation, that's something that I'd be used to seeing in Australia. But ours would be red. But that's something that you'd see in Kakadu. Without the trees, of course, but that kind of rock formation is, you know, that shows old, ancient. Cathedral. It's an amazing building, isn't it? Now I think this is like a copy of Versailles. I think one of the kings or queens or emperors or whatever they're called in Germany of the states, I think he wanted to make like a Versailles for himself, but he never finished it. That's fantastic. Again, you can see like all these villages, like everywhere in the world, if you have a look at every major city, there's always a river. So it just shows you how important the river system was to transportation and you know, going out to wherever you needed to go. Very few cities that don't have a river system. Seems to be a lot of like Roman architecture in there too. I don't know what they call it when they classical or whatever they call it. Look at the amount of work in there. So with these cathedrals and stuff, like there was a Reformation in Germany as well with Martin Luther, when he changed the church to Protestant or whatever that was called, or put the tenets on the church door. So like in England where there was a lot of the churches were destroyed by Henry VIII, did that happen in Germany as well when they changed over Lutheranism? I was actually taught Lutheranism in primary school. It was a bit weird, but I come from a German area in Queensland. That's nice. I don't know what that is. It looked like a bath structure or something, did it? Or like a spring coming out of the mountain. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'd love to go there. Look at that old building. Wow, look at that one. So if you're from any of these cities, please leave a comment. Tell me about the cities, the little villages. I particularly like the little villages. Yeah, but you know, again, you can see what happens, you know, that everything starts around the river and then over time it builds up and more and more. I didn't like that. What's going on there? What's going on with the graffiti on there? Why they got graffiti on the statue there? Surely they should clean that up. Why would they have that all have graffiti all over it? Or tram system. See that? That's beautiful. The old with the new. There's so much, isn't it? It's just, you can't get enough. How many months would you need to see everything in Germany? Well, that's a nice little pad. I wonder how people get so much money to build something like that. It's incredible. Nice craggy island. Obviously get a fair bit of decent weather there with that breakwater they've got out the front there. It's almost like every city has got a castle sitting on top of it. Amazing. Westphalia, so Westphalia is up to the north, so and this must be south, is it going into Switzerland? Old tall ship there. Look at that. I'd love to have this little house here, this one by itself. Looking over the esplanade there. Looks like a business or something, but that'd be a fantastic little house to have, that one. University. Oh yeah, Helgoland. I played Battlefield 1, that's one of the maps in Battlefield 1, Helgoland. How much like prehistory, like prehistoric stuff is there in Germany? Like is there, like in France they've got cave paintings and stuff, and I would imagine that they found Neanderthal there, so I imagine there'd be a fair bit of prehistory. It's just so much, isn't it? It's just like a full attack on the senses. Coming from a place like Australia, we just don't have anything like this, you know. Like it's, most people in Germany just walk around because you're born there, you're used to it. You know, I would literally walk around just looking at people's houses the whole day, trying to work out how they build them and where it started. And, you know, like I said, it's just too much sometimes. Look at that. Too much for the senses. Jesus Christ. I hope all these houses are not still privately owned. I hope that they're in the hands of the German people. Again, there we are, you know, build something on top of that cliff for me, please. Have a look at that. Some of these estates. Else again, see, they don't look defensive to me, you know. It's more like a status symbol about how high can you go. You know, if that was built 700 years ago, you just have to put a bit of cannon into the side there and it'll all fall over. So they look like initially that they're defensive structures, and then after, you know, there's no war for a couple hundred years, they turn around and go, let's just make it residence. But that's beautiful. Now that looks like a bit of prehistory. That looks like a hill fort to me. So that looks like that's been built on top. So if anyone knows about Amona Berg, is that built on an ancient hill fort? Because it looks like that circle right on top of a hill there like that. That looks Celtic to me. Okay, so here we've got an inner wall, a walled city. I wonder how old that wall is. Oh yeah, again, this is what I really love. I could just walk around there for a couple of days, and you know, you can see how it all spreads out. You've got the cathedral in the middle. I could spend a couple of days just looking at the plumbing, just seeing where the hell are they getting their water from. Lovely little port there. I just really love that black and white contrast, or the black or the white and that ochre colour, that contrasting colour. It always looks good. Christmas time. Thanks to you guys, Christmas. We have everything that you guys have. Thanks to you. A Lego. What's that? Teufelsmeyer. That looks like an old wall. It doesn't look like it's man-made. It looks like it's a natural thing. So is that like the top of a mountain that's worn away or something? It doesn't look man-made, or maybe that's Neolithic. And anyone tell me what Teufelsmeyer means? Beautiful. It looks like a military place, like Lord of the Admiralty or something like that, or Army. Alright, so that was very enjoyable. I loved all that. I'll probably go back and have a look at some other places through that video and do a bit of Wikipedia search on them and see what they're famous for, how they started, how old they are. But yeah, that's the kind of architecture that I'm interested in. And yeah, so anyway, if you like this reaction, please like and subscribe. And I've got another couple in the plan, and I'll see you later. Auf Wiedersehen.